Ciso. Oh, it's fabulous! A strike to get you up off your seats.
Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social, Season 5, Episode 5, I think. Really great game against Ipswich. Very disappointed not to see Ed Sheeran get any minutes, obviously. Don't know about you boys, were you upset, Maz?
Oh, mate, yeah, devastated. No, look, let's address something straight away because we got a bit of backlash, didn't we, boys, for some strange reason. Even though we gave Ipswich their flowers. I don't know what happened there. We somehow got attacked by the Ipswich fans. We had a bit of banter for about 30 seconds and then somehow we got labelled as being disrespectful and not giving any respect to Ipswich, which I thought was a bit unfair.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What I will admit is that we didn't do any research.
Yes,
I don't know what they expect us to do. Do they expect us to look into Ed Sheeran's like stats of expected goals or something like that? And because we're not, we are mates that come on here and talk about football.
Yeah.
Like we did go into it not knowing too much about Ipswich, but like, yeah, I genuinely don't know what they were expecting us to have some like crazy analysis. We went through the squad, had a fun time, learned about some of their players, discuss Sammy Smodics. We bantered for like 30 seconds about us not looking forward to the game, and we were right because it was a pretty shit game. But Jack, what were your thoughts on it? Because you got most of the stick on Twitter, obviously.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, why did that happen as well? That was very confusing. I don't know why you got targeted.
I was pretty complimentary, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a incredibly funny thing for Ed Sheeran to have a squad number. There's nothing more than that.
Yeah. Exactly.
But for me, like, I don't know. I don't know. I think they came across. It's not all their fans, because most of the fans I met on the day were pretty normal, to be honest. One fan just said a lot of our fans are very weird, which is fair enough. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a little bit overly sensitive, and I think if they're getting ready for if they think we're being disrespectful, wait until you have to deal with any top 6 club, because they're pretty
absolute facts.
They talk some serious shit. But I think, to be fair, I hold my hands up. I didn't do much research on Ipswich for the game, but yeah, I know. Talking about Christian Walton for about 5 minutes, he didn't even fucking play. So
yeah, Muric ended up playing.
Yeah, so and fair play to him. He had a very good game. Very good game.
Yeah, really good game.
He did. That was very frustrating, wasn't it? I think that was one thing. I'm guessing that was Herz's issue. How come he didn't kind of put a stop to the constant crosses when they've got like a 6'8" goalkeeper in there? I just thought the best way we were going to score was by playing it on the ground. But every time we'd have an attack and we'd whip the ball in, he would just easily come and claim it. So were you frustrated with that, Jack, when you saw that happening time and time again?
Yeah. I was getting a bit annoyed. I was like, why are we floating balls into the box? It happened a bit against Arsenal, against Ryan, another keeper who's very good at high claims and stuff like that. So I think that was a little bit poor. I think it's sort of the game changed a little bit when Rutter, I can't say his bloody name, Jorginho now.
Yeah,
Jorginho came off. I think he was doing quite well at sort of passing the ball around inside and getting into space, maybe creating chances. And then we started putting it in a box, and I think, I clearly anything is disrespectful to Ipswich, but I don't know. I think, probably some people come out of the game and go like, oh, they sat back for the whole game. They didn't. They were a lot better than that. They weren't anywhere near the worst of sitting back teams I've watched. But I think, especially when we're really pushing for the win in the last 10, they did very much sit in a very rigid structure with the 5 sort of defenders, 4 defenders sitting back in deep. And at that time, we just needed a bit of dynamicism to not cross into the box and maybe just play it through the middle a bit. And of course, like sitting back for the last 10 minutes as a newly promoted team into the Premier League, like that's a perfectly acceptable thing to do. A point away at Brighton is a very, very good point for them. Considering, because, in reality, if they want to stay up, they've got to be getting the odd point away and then mainly winning their home games. So for me, I don't know. I just think we maybe, I think McKenna managed the game well. I think that was one thing. It was very good. Maybe not so much. I didn't see anything that made me think, oh, I'm really disappointed we missed out on McKenna, for example. Not to say he's a bad manager by any stretch of the imagination, but there's no significant kind of thing. Rufio's here. There's no sort of there was no sort of massive gap between the teams that I go, oh yeah, he's a really good manager. I'm really gutted we didn't get him. I just thought he's very good at game management. They played nice football at times, but they had some very good performers and they had some very bad performers, and I think that was the difference in there, really.
That was really strange looking at the touchline and seeing McKenna against Hersler, because like he was the person we went for first, and then I don't know if Hersler was our second option or third option or even our fourth option. So then to see our fourth potential option doing as well as he is, it was quite strange. So it must have been a weird one for Tony Bloom to be watching. But Mads, the original question, were you getting frustrated that we didn't really have a plan B in terms of the crosses and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I know. Oh, bear with me 2 seconds because that can't carry on. Bear with me 2 seconds. Go to Jack and I'll answer.
Oh, I've already asked him. But
okay, ask me another question. I'll come back.
Okay, Rivio's getting about
dog issues in the background.
Okay, now the Ipswich fans watching are going to be absolutely in stitches.
Right,
they're going to hate this podcast.
He's come to do a bit of analysis. So yeah, to answer your question, I know we've had it in the past where we've had managers not have a plan B, and I think particularly under, I'd probably say Potter was the most frustrating. I feel like sometimes he didn't have a plan B, and that was frustrating. So yeah, I'm not saying that's going to be the same with Herzler because it's with 4 games in, and for me he's been really positive. He's had a lot of his substitutions are really positive. That's one thing I do love about him. When it gets to like the 70th, 80th minute, he's making attacking subs. And when you look at our bench as well, the depth we have now is actually incredible.
Yeah,
so,
seeing those players warm up was insane. Something like the talent that we had warming up on the corner I was just like, oh my God, how are these boys on the bench? It was insane.
It's insane. You got Enciso, who midweek beat Brazil, and then he's on the bench for Brighton. Obviously, João Pedro was a big miss, I thought, yesterday as well. I think if we had João, I think some of those chances we probably would have finished. But
do you think it's quite easy to say, isn't it, that João Pedro would have finished some of Rutter's chances? But do you think that with João Pedro on the pitch, Jack, we would have won that game?
For sure. I think João Pedro is a huge miss. He's obviously a massively quality player, arguably our best player by far. I think Rutter, it's his first start, so no judgment there. I think he showed some really nice touches to get in behind.
Yeah,
I think that chance that he created, where obviously Muric made an amazing double save. With all credit to him. I think maybe Pedro would have put that away. I don't know. I think there's a chance quite late on where about just before he came off, where Rutter didn't quite put it in, and maybe he would have put it in, but I think Pedro was the big loss yesterday. So hopefully it's nothing major and he's back for the next game, which I believe he is. It's only a knock. According to
that's so frustrating though, isn't it? That Brazil, I feel like that Brazil call up is going to be a bit of an annoyance this season, but that's probably why we got Rutter in, because he can fill in for João Pedro quite nicely. Obviously, first start, so he's not going to be probably as clinical as João Pedro might be, but I was happy with Rutter.
Just on that, I thought his general play was brilliant, Rutter. But one thing, weirdly, I've got a friend that's a Leeds fan, which is very rare. But someone we know who's a Leeds fan, and he was saying that basically his problem last season, he's a brilliant creator, but in terms of finishing, that's not his bag. So I don't think we should be expecting him to be a clinical finisher. I think if we expect that, we're going to be disappointed by the sounds of what Leeds fans have told us about him. So maybe we shouldn't be looking at him as a clinical finisher and more of a creator and just creating chances for other people. So we shouldn't basically expect him to bag 30
Hopefully
goals.
that guy Welbs can teach him a few tricks. But also, big chances fell to Matoma. I remember, obviously, like you said, the double save for Muric, who, if it wasn't, I think Belaber's probably my man of the match for Brighton, but Muric has to be the man of the match for Ipswich, or the whole man of the match anyway. I don't know if he won player of the match. I don't know if he won player of the match for the Premier League, but he was incredible. Do you reckon Matoma's chances were a bit, I don't know, he seems to not really have a left foot. I was speaking to the Brighton pod actually after the game, and he was like, he doesn't have a left foot. There are times he just kind of flicks it with the outside of his right foot and just almost passes it back to Muric. Do you find that, Jack, when you were watching it?
Yeah, I think Matoma had a bit of a funny game yesterday, didn't he? I think the wingers, I think a little bit of credit should go to Ipswich yesterday for the ineffectiveness.
He's trying to win back the fans, man.
I was about to say that. He's bottled it.
I do think a bit of credit has to go to the two fullbacks for Ipswich, because I do think they were the best performers. Leif Davis and Axel Twanzebe, name from the past there from a few years ago. I thought they were really good at sort of nullifying our threat. Minter, because you've got two wingers now, so you've got both the options. Minter had a quieter game than imagined, but Matoma,
a few people in the north were getting a bit frustrated with Minter.
I think, and also I think, I don't know, it's a funny one with Matoma, isn't it? Because he's obviously got some amazing quality, and some of the little cutbacks he did, although they didn't come off, that we've got no other player that can do that. So yeah, he was maybe going inside a bit. I think maybe the wrong substitution was made at the fullback position, because I just thought if you put Purvis there, left footer, round the outside, you get so many more chances. So I don't know, he had a bit of a funny one. Maybe I think the subs that Hersler made were the right subs. I just don't think they just came off. But yeah, no, Leif Davis, and I think he had a lot to do with Matoma being Tanzebe and Leif Davis for Matoma and Minter being poorer than they usually are, because I think they really settled and did well against them.
I thought Minter worked, like his work rate and his pressing and off the ball he was brilliant. Maybe just on the ball it was it wasn't the best day for him. But no, from early signs, first 3 games he looks like an exciting player. Maybe he's just got a lot of learning to do, a lot of development. And he's 20 years old still. So yeah, off the ball brilliant, but on the ball just needs a little bit more work.
No, I agree. Let's talk about the man of the hour, Carlos Baleba. I mean, oh my God, he was unbelievable. He was an absolute boss in midfield, so there'll be plenty more of that this season, I'm sure. Jack, what did you think of Baleba? Because he controlled that midfield. Some of the stuff he was doing, like the tricks he was doing, getting past his man so easy, just knocking the ball forward. He was so quick and powerful that the Ipswich players could not handle him.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously a very talented player, very raw energy. I think he didn't come in for the first couple and people were a little bit surprised, but now I think he cemented his place pretty well, which is really, really good to see. He's obviously got a big future. I think he just he almost it's like going back to KSI times. He beasted them off the ball. But he did. And he really sort of dominated that midfield area. I think it certainly helped that Calvin Phillips was dreadful. Now I praised a couple of Ipswich players, but I just thought Phillips was shite. I just don't think he brought anything to the game. I think when he came off injured, or he limped off injured, I think I was screaming, keep him on. And they did keep, because all our chances came from Phillips just not really being asked. And I think a lot of his teammates...
He got his yellow as well, didn't he? When he just jumped on one of our players.
Yeah, and I think he was, for the quality that Ipswich had, they did have some poor performances out there. I think Smovics was pretty ineffective as well. But I think Baleba, he keeps that area, because it's a very strange midfield that we play with now. I can't quite work it out yet.
Yeah.
But it does seem like he's on his own in the middle of midfield sometimes. Like Ayari almost goes out wide sometimes. It's quite hard to work out. I thought Ayari had a decent game yesterday.
I want to talk about Ayari.
He wasn't amazing, but he had a very decent game. So I think those two together in midfield was very, very, very good little combo there.
Just quickly, before we get on to Ayari, I just wanted to ask, when Weaver and O'Reilly come back, we're going to what is going to happen in that midfield? Obviously, Ayari's now starting to stake a bit of a claim now. He's playing really well, I think, in my opinion. He looks a great player. And also, Jack, fair play to you. You predicted him as to be your most improved. So he's starting to repay you already.
He knows his stuff, this man.
He does. I mean, he only goes to about 30 million games a season. So if he didn't, I'd be very worried.
That made me laugh as well, actually, when the Ipswich fans were like, they probably weren't here when they were in the Championship. Yeah. It's like, you're literally calling out the worst Brighton fan possible, by the way. Jack just screenshots his football app and then it just shuts him up immediately.
There's only maybe one, and shout out to Sam Osborne. I don't know if anyone knows Sam Osborne in the Brighton scene. Yeah. But he's like Jack. He goes to every game, home and away, goes to all the England games. He's an absolute diehard. Yeah, so if there's only 2 people you want to go for, it's probably not Jack and Sam. So
I went to Japan with Sam, so that sums it up really.
There you go. There you go. That checks out, doesn't it? But what were we talking about? Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, how are we going to fit everyone in? Ben, what do you reckon is going to happen?
No, we're not going to, unfortunately. you can only have 11 players.
Have a 7-man midfield.
Yeah, I think we might have to put Dunkey in there with just about heck on his own. He'll be all right at the moment. But yeah, Jesus Christ, when they come back. I mean, the whole Gilmore sale makes so much sense now, because imagine if we still had him. When O'Reilly comes back, I have no idea what's going to happen. I mean, Ayari's definitely going to get less minutes, of course.
So what happened to Weefa? He just played the first game and dipped. Like,
got a little knock and he's been out. He's been out for like 2 months now. He'll come back. He'll come back. I don't know whether he starts. Like, it'll be interesting to see if it's going to be Baleba with Weefa, or maybe, obviously, if we didn't see Baleba play the first couple games, maybe Baleba will be the one to be sacrificed on the bench. Depends what Hursley's kind of fancies, but I know a lot of Brighton fans will be calling for Baleba to be starting.
Yeah, you can't be putting him on the bench after what he's done.
Unfortunately, we're not the manager, but that will be a mad one. I don't know who I'd start, really, but Baleba will definitely have to be one of them. Well, we don't really know too much about Matt O'Reilly, how he's going to play in our system, but because we only saw him for like fucking 10 minutes before some twatted him, unfortunately. But yeah, Jack, what would your 2 midfielders be?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know who my 2 midfielders would be, to be honest. We've got so much depth in that position once everybody's back fit. Yari probably will be sacrificed, and you got, as much as everybody sort of jokes about Milner being old and whatever, he's been decent this season. He's put in a good shift. So we've got so many options there, and I think this is the good thing about this season, because last season definitely the problem was that our starting 11 was great, but outside of that, it was with all respect, just not quite up to the same levels. So it'd be interesting to see.
Now it's the opposite now, isn't it?
Yeah, now we've almost got like levels all over the place. Like, Rutter, like this is the perfect game where he comes in, and on another day, I think it probably just goes inside the post a couple of his shots and stuff like that. And then to move, O'Reilly coming back. I don't know whether. I think the problem is the one thing we haven't replaced with Gross is set pieces, because set pieces seem a bit all over the place at the moment. I think.
You got Dunkey, Welbeck, and who's the other one standing up by the free kick?
Dingra stood there.
Yeah, Dingra.
It was all getting a bit all getting a bit tense. And
when's Dunkey gonna just give up? I mean,
I love Dunkey.
Put the prize in the bag, bro.
No, leave the football before the football leaves you. Now, obviously not to retire on the free kicks, obviously.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I think so. Matt O'Reilly maybe playing more of a deep lying playmaker role that Gross used to do. So, the wealth of options that we have is amazing. And then there's good players in the under-21s even who play sort of central midfield and out on loan. So, Malik Yakule and stuff like that. So, we've got from a last season where we didn't really have anyone to play that position. We now have a wealth of depth, which is really good. I think that's another one of Tony Bloom's planning masterstrokes. You can't. Last season we desperately needed a defensive midfielder, and now we seem to have got everybody in that position perfectly. So
But we've signed 10 players. None of them can take free kicks. Class.
But none of them can do corners or free kicks.
Maybe Matt O'Reilly will. Actually, that reminds me, because Jack Hinshelwood took most of the corners, didn't he, before he came off? Thought he was really, really good until I think there was one little whiffy moment. But I mean, defenders make mistakes and have issues. No one has a perfect game, really. But I thought he was really, really good. Do you think he now is going to be like just a fullback? Because he's given I can't remember if I said this in the Ipswich preview, but he's given the number 2 shirt by the England under-21s and played right back, I'm pretty sure. Is he just like a fullback now? I'm guessing that's his role, I guess.
I'm not too sure. I personally wouldn't want him to become a fullback. I feel like he's much better as a central midfielder in his more natural position. But he does an absolute job, to be fair. At right back, I really like him at right back. I think, especially last season, he'd done a brilliant job for us up until.
But he was good on the left yesterday. I mean, I don't know if it's because of lesser oppositions. No offence to Ipswich, but maybe he had a easier time.
First 3 games, let's be honest, he had a torrid time. Was it Jack Harrison against Everton, Amad Diallo against Man United, and Saka against Arsenal? Like they all gave him quality wingers. I'm not saying maybe Harrison not so much, but Diallo and Saka, when he was up against decent tricky wingers, he did have a bit of a torrid time, in my opinion, at left back. But when he's on the right, I think he's much more comfortable. It's more of his natural, I suppose. He's Brighton
natural side,
natural side. But he's a brilliant footballer. I just don't think left back especially is his position. Right back, I think he's very competent. He's decent. I personally would like to see him more centrally. I think in his more natural position. I think that's probably where he wants to play. I think he's just doing a job at the moment. I think the managers are like, look, we need you to cover a fullback. So
we got about 800 centimetres, mate. But we need a fullback right now.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, I think it's a bit unlucky for him in the sense of like he's had to fill in, and because he's done such a good job, they're now going, well, yeah, you've done such a great job, let's carry on playing you there. So yeah, he's a bit of a, what's the word? Failing from his own success, whatever it is.
Suffering from success.
Suffering from his own
No,
success.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I was going to say, I think Alzate massively suffered from that. So I hope it doesn't happen that, because Alzate did very well when he first came in at left back, right back, centre mid at times, even played up front. He sort of played everywhere, and I think he did really well there, but we never got him down to a fixed position really, where he would consistently be in the team. It was always filling in for injury or coming on late on when someone gets injured. So obviously Jack's a great talent, so I hope he doesn't get sort of pigeonholed into a utility player. But like Ben said, I think he had a much improved game yesterday compared to how he's been. Again, well, I think, Saka's a funny one, isn't it? Like, we all sort of banter it a bit because he, let the country down or whatever. But, it's, and he didn't. But, and people sort of.
Good save.
Yeah.
Cancellation part 2.
Yeah. And everybody sort of banters him and everything like that. But he is, like, arguably the best winger or one of the best wingers in the league. Like, I think it was the Keown during the week said Doku was better. What a load of shit that was.
Oh, yeah.
Perez, wasn't it? Perez.
Perez.
Yeah.
Perez. Like, Doku is not better. Like, Saka is a quality player. And for Jack to play against, against Saka, and not really concede from Saka other than a dunk mistake. He's done quite well there, to be honest. So, I don't know.
I think in terms of what I was saying earlier about the wingers, is like when he's come up against decent wingers in a Saka, obviously Saka's unbelievable. I'm not saying he should, I wasn't ever expecting him to like be able to lock Saka down. But when he's come up against like a Harrison or a Diallo, again, you wouldn't put them on Saka's level, and he did struggle a few times. So I think, it was just, again, I'm not blaming him because I don't think it's his fault. He's playing in a position he's not familiar with, and he's doing a good job. He's being competent. But yeah, I just think personally, I would like to see him more in his natural position, and I'd like to see a more natural fullback, so like a Purvis come back, or even if Kadioglu can comfortably play left back.
That's what I wanted to talk about, because obviously, Kadioglu came on for Hinshelwood. Luckily, he wasn't wearing his cream suit this time. He was actually in a Brighton kit, which is good to see. A lot smaller than I thought he was going to be, but there you are. Jack, I can't remember that. Nothing wrong with being small, no. What did you make of him, Jack?
Yeah, great hair. He's got a proper head of hair. Very.
He's from Turkey. He's from
Turkey. He's from Turkey, but I don't think that it's transplanted.
I think it's his natural locks, to be fair.
Yeah, I know. It's beautiful hair. I thought he had quite a shaky debut, to be honest. Like, if being brutally honest, I think to throw him in that game maybe he needs to get in eventually. So it's good to sort of give him a sort of 20-minute spell. I think he almost conceded almost straight away when he missed that corner.
God. Yeah, that would have been a great start. Imagine he just gets that ball down and has a little whip top bins. That would have been
a very Brighton and Hove Albion debut. That would be. But I think fair play to him. I think he struggled at times. I'm not overly convinced about the concept of right foot playing on left back.
Yeah.
Not to go back to. I think Matoma especially, his best time for us was when he had Purvis on the outside and they were sort of working in tandem. So I think he can play left back, right back. I don't mind where we sort of play him. I think he'll be a good player. But yeah, a little bit of a shaky debut, but you can see he's got quality in there. I think he just maybe, I'd like to see him start against Wolves during the week, and then we can sort of give him a good 60 minutes, probably not the full 90, but a good 60 minutes just to sort of get him up to a decent level and sort of see how he plays. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he gets on if he does start. Obviously a quality player, but I don't think we can look too much into that debut.
Yeah.
I saw someone as well bring up his speed. They're like, is he really slow or is it just me? And I was just like, I don't think he made like a decent little recovery run, so I don't think he's...
Yeah. Really?
I'm saying I literally saw one tweet. I'm not saying it was like a general thing. I saw a Brighton fan bringing up his speed, saying like he looks incredibly slow. But it got quite a lot.
FIFA said he's got 80 pace. He's definitely not got 80 pace.
Yeah. So I found that a bit weird. But yeah, that wasn't the general consensus, just to be clear.
Yeah.
No, I think they're definitely a player then. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that Wolves game. That'll be a good opportunity to get some rotation, and maybe Purvis starts on the left. You could get Ferdy on the right. I mean, our second team will do a job against Wolves. That'll definitely be a good game for sure. Yeah, it'll be exciting to see that. Other talking points, not too much because it was a 0-0. Anything else, lads, that we wanted to cover?
I think we just quickly, actually, just to give Muric his flowers. Like, I'll put my hands up. Obviously, before the game, I did say Ed Sheeran could probably do a better job than Muric. So I do want to take that back.
Cooked, man. You got absolutely cooked, man.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I do want to. That was obviously a tongue in cheek. Obviously, like, that was no real disrespect. It was a
very
like
bright.
We make a lot of jokes on this podcast. If you've never watched us before, let's just put it out there. We like to joke. We like to have fun. We're not a serious analysis tifo podcast. If you want to get that, go elsewhere. We're not about.
Watch The Athletic.
So, watch The Athletic. We're not about that. So I did want to not apologise because I don't like to apologise about banter. But he had a brilliant game and fair play to him. That double save was brilliant.
Yes, so good.
Yeah, such great saves. So, got to give him his flowers. He done a great job. And credit to Ipswich. Like, they got a point. And it was a frustrating afternoon for us ultimately.
I'll do another Michael Owen. If he doesn't save that, it goes in, and we win 1-0. So I can't believe that got taken out of context. It got absolutely torn to shreds.
I think. Obviously, our previous interactions with Muric have not been great, so I don't think it was unfair to say he looked like a poorer goalkeeper. But he had really good. I do think his distribution was quite shit. If we really now we'll go tifo football. No, I thought he's very good claiming. High claims really good. Obviously, when you're 6'8" or however tall he is, you're going to be very good at high claims. I think some of the saves he made were very, very good, but he kept on trying to spray it out to like Davis and to Wanzabe, and it was just sailing over them out for a throw-in. So, in my opinion, I thought that was quite poor from him. His distribution for a team that wants to play football, but that's not the end of the world, I suppose. I think he's a good goalkeeper. Let's not beat around the bush.
He got his revenge, Jack, because he after winning goal of the month for Brighton.
Exactly.
Oh, no, not in August. Sorry, in May, whenever it was. He then has an unbelievable performance against us. It's very
definitely.
Classic Brighton. That. Okay, I've got to go and shoot and have breakfast. I'm so sorry that this is only a half an hour pod. We tried our best, lads.
For a 0-0 draw, I think we've done pretty well here. Let's be honest.
Another thing. It's good to see Evan Ferguson back.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good to see Ferguson back, and he did a really quality shot, which, like I said, I think a lot of these chances another day just dip inside the post or the keeper doesn't get there. So that's why I'm not too disparaged about the performance.
I'm really interested.
Let's see Evan start against Wolves. That'd be nice. Get him some minutes back in the tank. He looks like the same player. Really,
he looks bulked up. He looks like a serious unit now.
His bro's been in the mountains with Jadon Sancho. He's come back.
Exactly. Yeah.
I hope he does come back though, like as in come back to what we know he can do. I know, basically, again talking about dipping, he scored a hat trick against Newcastle and then dipped last season, and then obviously
right, I'm head out.
He's had he had a lot of injuries, obviously. So that was a shame. But hopefully he's coming back. Obviously, he had a bit of a cameo for Ireland, and then played a few minutes for us. And like you said, Ben, if he can get a few more minutes against Wolves, hopefully he just builds that fitness up. But then again, it's like, Will Welbeck playing so well, does he just go in for Welbeck? Obviously, you got João Pedro, you got Rutter. Like again, in those attacking positions, again you're like, oh god, like what's going to happen here? So it's a great problem to have, but I wouldn't want to be Hurzeler for sure.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy to see him back, and the positive things are happening. We are still cooking in the league. Liverpool lost. That's great.
Another thing I'll say, I do genuinely think, and I'm not doing this to save face. I do think Ipswich will stay up. I don't think they're anywhere like. You compare it to like Luton at the beginning of last season. Luton were 100 times worse than this, and they look like they would stay up. Ipswich, I think they'll solidly stay up. I don't think they'll.
To be fair, we never said they were going to go down. To be fair, so just to be clear, we never mentioned them being relegation candidates. But They seem to be. Do you know what? I'm going to speak really frankly, and they're probably going to hate me. But on paper, their team is full of Championship players. Let's be totally, frank. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be a Championship level team because of Kieran McKenna, brilliant manager. You've got even that togetherness, even off the pitch things that if you can bring that together, your players will play, to a decent level. So, and also, like for example, Liam Delap, I'd say he's a decent Premier League player. Like he had that
great
chance, didn't he? He had a great chance, hit the post. He looked good. He's quick. He's got lots of attributes to make him a decent striker. So yeah, look, credit to Ipswich. They got a draw and they frustrated us, and they had chances themselves to score. So yeah, it was a good game, and we go on to Wolves.
Good luck to them for the rest of the season. Let's all laugh at Everton. That'd be great. And unfortunately,
How did
Chelsea
they do it again?
It's actually mental. It's actually mental.
Do you know what? I'm so pissed off.
He's done it again, that Everton.
I'm so pissed off. I didn't put a bet on. I should have put a bet on. When I went 2-0 up, I went, they're going to lose this 3-2.
Yeah.
So.
It's like the opposite of Leverkusen always winning. Like, let's just bet on Everton to always lose 3-2 now. Cool.
Right,
yeah, let's all laugh at Everton. Let's all laugh at Liverpool. Palace drew up to Leicester. But
comments down below. Comments down below. Just saying
fair play, Ipswich.
Yeah,
the tractor boys. Get on your tractors.
Boys. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Yes, and we'll see you for Wolves.
Wolves preview.
Yeah. Bye.
And a bezel.